and welcome to Tune of the Month. Happy December! I'm Mari Black, and this month we are continuing on a little adventure, a by request adventure that we started last month when I taught Liz Carroll's amazing slip jig For the Love of Music from her great album Lake Effect. So last month we did the tune in the key of G, which is where Liz plays it on Lake Effect. And if you've been playing that tune and maybe playing along with Liz, you'll notice that it works very well for a couple times with the tune. And then there's this absolutely extraordinary moment on her recording where she takes the same tune and instead of playing in G, she modulates it up to A. And it's like a whole new sun shines out and the sky gets a mile further higher, and it's just a amazing moment. And it's such a great trick to take a tune and modulate it up a key. This is done a lot, playing a tune in G and then going to A. It's also done playing tunes in D and then going to E. Fantastic skill. And you get a bonus tune out of it. So this month we are going to do For the Love of Music, but in the key of A. Right? We're going to modulate the tune so you can follow Liz through her arrangement and also have the skills so you can take this trick and do it on any tune that you want to from the rest of your repertoire. But let's start by playing the For the Love of Music in the key of A. And if you thought G was good, hang on to your hats. You're just listening, that's the tune. Oh boy. And if you're ready to learn it, strap in, let's go. All right, so last month we really worked on learning the tune and worked a lot on the bowing that will be very useful for fiddlers for this sort of tune. Now I'm using all the same patterns here this month. So we're gonna go through a little bit quickly and talk about how to transpose what we did last month up to here. So if you haven't done For the Love of Music in the key of G yet, I highly recommend that you stop this video now, go back and learn the tune first in G, because that will position you to really learn how to do the transposition like we're going to do now. But already having the tune under your fingers in G is going to help a lot. Okay, so when we move to the key of A, we're moving up a whole step from 1 sharp in the key of G to 3 sharps in the key of A. Now, everything moving up a step means that it's going to move to different fingers. It's going to feel different in your hand. That's okay. So what we're going to use is something that musicians like to call relative pitch, finding the same patterns but starting on a different note or finger. So we're going to actually learn this in relation to the key of G tune. All right. So if you think about the G, it started with that little palindrome. All right, I'm doing that's part 1 and part 2 together. I'm going to do them together. We're doing bigger chunks this month. Nice challenge. So here we go. I'm going to take that same palindrome and start on A. Yeah, so it's the same idea. Palindrome. Part 2 is our neighbor tones in A major arpeggio. Neighbor, A major. Good. Let's do part 1 and 2 together again. Ready, and... Yeah, notice I'm using the same bowing as I did in the key of G. I'm not going to say a lot about it this video because we already did it. So you can either bow with me, that you already know from last month, or find your own way through it. There's always multiple right answers in slip jigs. Let's do it again, part 1 and 2. Palindrome. Part 2. A major. Very good. Let's do it one more time. Good. If you want more repetitions, just go ahead and rewind this video. I'll practice with you as many times as you like. But right now I'm going on. It does part 1 again. And then an ending. Okay, so in the G major version, that was kind of an E minor chord, so that means now this is an F sharp minor chord. Right? So it's... Did you feel that little F sharp minor pattern? One more time, just the ending. Good. If you're having trouble finding that, you can always pause the video and play the G major version that you already know, wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, and feel how the patterns are moving, and then try to play the same sound up a step. When I'm transposing a tune by ear, that's often how I'll do it, is I'll play it in the original key, and then I try to mimic the same sound, but up a step. All right, you can also just follow me, because you're not having to sound this one out by yourself. You have a model, such as she is. Yeah, one more time, ending. Good, all right. So that's it, part 1, part 2, part 1 again, ending. Let's try 2 full A sections in the key of A. Sing those patterns. Part 1 is a palindrome. Ready? And... Part 2. Ending. Not bad. All right. Let's do it one more time. Make sure that your bowing is landing down bow at the start of every mini section. That's important because that's the strong beat. Strong and a weak and a weak and a strong and a weak and a weak and slip jig, right? So you're going to have to slur something, something in every part, at least one something, in order to make that happen. You can use my solution that I gave you when we did G major last month, or you can figure it out yourself, but make sure you're down bow on every beginning of the mini sections, every downbeat. All right, ready? And down bow. And down. 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 Yeah, how's it feeling? Pretty good? Many ways you can end up down bow on every section, but you must do it. Otherwise, the feel, strong and a weak and a weak, and is going to get distorted, and then it's hard for the dancers and your audience even to follow along with you. So really be very fastidious about getting that down bow on the downbeat. Lots of right ways to do it, but it must be done. Okay, and hey, we're settling into the key of A kind of nicely here, right? It's a weird kind of double think where you're both handling this as a new tune, feeling it as a new tune because it sits different places in your hand, but also as a familiar tune because you already know the sounds and the patterns of how things work. That relative pitch really is helping you out here, right? And if this is the first time you've done this, it may feel a little tricky. Don't worry. The more tunes you do this to, first of all, the more great tricks you have in your pocket, and second of all, the easier it gets. So let's do the B section. Now, sometimes when we transpose keys on certain instruments, it takes us into a part of the instrument, a range, that gets a little interesting. And that happens here for the love of music, for fiddlers. Check it out. I'll play the whole B section slowly. See if you can catch what I'm talking about. I'm sure you caught it, that range, that glorious B section that just goes soaring up into the clouds, goes out of the range of first position. We have to shift. All right. Now, great news. Liz, being a fiddler, has really crafted a tune that fits nicely on the fiddle. How nice. And it's actually a pretty easy shift. Okay, so I'm going to ignore all the bowing stuff because, again, we did that last month in the key of G. If you didn't get to check that out yet, now's a great time. All those little jig cuts and how to make the bowing work out smoothly. I am focused on handling the A major adaptation and the range. Okay, so part one. Okay, so just get that part in A, please. Notice how it's mostly an A major arpeggio. I have a little neighbor and a little scale with the cut, but then this is all A major arpeggio. Do it with me again, please. One more. Good. And this is really the theme of the B section. It starts all part ones and part two. So get good at it. One more. Good. Now to finish part one, we need the little tag, and this is where we need the range extension. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so I'm going to third position here. Right? So it's a little palindrome. I start with my third finger A there. But when the A comes back, instead of playing it with my third finger in first position, I'm going to replace that with my first finger, and that will be third position. Now this is really easy to do because I've just played my first finger. I just slide that first finger right up, and I have just played that A with my third finger, so I can feel where it is on my fingerboard, right? So this third finger is showing where I'm going to shift to, right? And it matches my open A string, that little test note, right? So I have this 3, and notice my third finger is still pointing there, showing the spot that I jump to, right? I'm showing it this way so you can see it. Da, yum, and then I'll finish here. Good, let's try it. Fun. Shift. Now, what makes a good shift? We call this a finger substitution, right? Because I'm substituting what was my third finger with what becomes my first finger. And I want the sound to match exactly. Shifting is really a game of matching. So when you practice this finger, mark that spot. Put your first finger in exactly the same spot. Do you hear how mine sounds identically matched? And in fact, if you didn't watch my hand, you might not be able to even tell that I'm playing it with a different finger. That's how good the match is. And that's the goal. It's not hard. You just want a little bit of practice if you're new to third position. Try it again. Match. One more. Good. So it's nice to just practice stopping on that note to check that the shift is in the right place. And if you want to turn that into the whole tag, we only need to add 2 little notes. which will be in third position 3, 2, and it's my scoop slur. All right, let's try that, the whole tag with the shift. Again. One more, and excellent. So that's one that if you know third position, this is dead easy. So playable and friendly. If you're newer to third position, it's still dead easy. You just want a little more repetition to get comfortable with how that distance feels. Okay, so let's put together all of part one. We have the little jig cut theme and then that high tag that you need the range extension. Here we go. Oh, not bad, again. Sorry, my fault. Again. One more, and good. Okay, so now we're on to part two. No range extension needed here. We start with the same theme, but a pickup. So that's just a straight transposition. I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to say much about it. I want you to sound it out. Find this pattern in A. Again. I'll give you one more live. Good. If you want more reps, just rewind the video. We're back to part one. B section theme, and then our shift for the range extension. Ready? Very nice. Good. Now, to get to the ending, we're just going to stay here. Right? To get to part two, I actually didn't even say that, did I? After you finish part one, all I got to do to get to part two is just jump back to first position. It's actually very easy because you're landing on your second finger and you land on your second finger back in first position. Very easy to get from part one to part two. To get from part one again to the ending, it's even easier because we're going to stay in third position. Check it out. Here's the ending. Yeah, great. So my pickup is that second finger to the third finger. Now after this, I'm done. I'm just going to jump back to my first finger in first position. I know where that is. Good, let's do that much. Find your third position. Go on second finger and place 2, 3, and then jump back. Again. Ready? And. One more time. Find your third position. How I find it quickly, I've got my third finger. I do my finger substitution to first finger, and then I put down my second ready to play. Here I go. Ready, Good, and the very ending. I'll do that very ending again. One put the whole ending together. Find third position, finger substitution. Put down your second finger. You're ready for the pickup. Not bad. Do it again. Find third position. Second finger down. That's the right idea. Okay, any more repetitions that you need of any of these parts? Rewind that video. The miracle of technology. You can do whatever you need to get it feeling good. And we're going to play now the whole B section. Now, a reminder from this tune from last month. The B section is built double. The A section is very short, so it feels like you play two A's, you repeat it. The B section is composed to be a complete length, so it feels like you only play one B. A, B, A, B. And it's still the right length for dancing, but the repeat is built in. Okay, here we go. B section with our little jig cut theme. Ready to shift. Good, part two. Back to part one. Ready to shift. Stay here. Not bad at all. Let's try it again. Whole B section. 2, 3. Part two. Back to part one. Very nice. You might want to rewind, do some reps of that. We're going to play it one more time, and this time we're going to loop back around to the A section and play through the entire tune. It will feel like A, B, A, B. All right? Think roadmap. Feel the patterns. Here we go. B section, part one. Ready to shift. Back to the A section, palindrome. Ready for B section. Ready, shift. Back down. Part one. Up. Stay here. Very nice. That's the whole tune. Okay. So again, these are skills that if you're already using and already comfortable with, this is a very nice, friendly application. And if things like third position or the slip jig itself or the slip jig bowings are new to you, this is a great tune to get comfortable with them on. This was my first slip jig, actually, and I didn't really know what a slip jig was when I learned this. I heard it on Liz's album. I fell in love. I knew I had to play it. The end. And there was some there was some legwork, a lot of repetitions, a lot of hours went into playing this thing that I didn't totally understand but knew that I loved. So what a great way to spend hours of your life, to play a tune this beautiful. And plus you'll come out of it with a lot of things to get you more comfortable for other tunes that go to third position. We've done a bunch on Past Tune of the Month, so you can go search and find them. And to do other slip jigs, we've done a few on Tune of the Month, you can go and find them. And try them out in other parts of your repertoire. I'll add one more little tidbit, and that is when this tune is in the key of A on the fiddle, suddenly there are a lot of double stops that become available that weren't so accessible in the key of G, right? In G, I mean, you could use the open G string, but it gets a little too heavy. In the key of A, I can drum my A string with that, right? And I also like it here. So there are little bits where you can drone the open A string and drone the open E string. I'm not going to say a whole lot about that because we've done a lot of drone double stops in past tunes of the month, particularly old time tunes, but it's the same idea here. So hopefully those skills are lurking for you and you can try it out. It does work much better in the key of A than it does in the key of G. So this is another nice thing about transposing tunes, is it opens up some different possibilities on your instrument for, you know, how things sit, and do I have certain ornaments available, or do I have certain double stops available that weren't in the other key. So there's just a little breadcrumb for you to think about and start exploring, and also think about as you look at transposing other tunes. This is a great trick. We did this actually in a Tune of the Month a long while ago. You folks wanted me to teach the Fox Hunters, which is also played in both G and in A, the Fox Hunter reel. Not the slip jig, there's also a slip jig Fox Hunters. So we taught it in G and then transposed it to A, just like we did here. So if you want another chance to do that with a guide, myself, you can go back and check that out. And I highly recommend go find a tune in G and see if you can play it in A, something that you know, right? Or find a tune that's in D and see if you can play it in E. That rise up a step is the magical trick that makes Liz's recording of this tune so transcendent. All right, so there's loads to play with. As always, if you'd like to see my personal handwritten version of the sheet music for this and any future Tunes of the Month, make sure that you are subscribed to, you know all about it, my email newsletter. Go to my website, www.mariblack, that's me, mariblack.com, and sign up for the newsletter. And then you will get once a month a little note from me saying hi and including the sheet music for the current Tune of the Month. So if you're already subscribed, you already have For the Love of Music in your inbox. And if you're just subscribing now in the future, you will have all future tunes coming to you in the future. So this is awesome. I hope you guys have a lot of fun playing this, and I will look forward to more tunes with you next month. See you soon.